Shut up and sit down.
Oh, hello and welcome to a North Wales side-by-side video. As you can see, MR2 is finally back on the floor. Everything mechanical that can be done, that needed to be done, has been done. So you all know I bought this car back in August. We're now November the 7th. And it's took me since buying it to now to do all the bits and pieces that this car deserved to have done to it, to bring it up to a very, very good mechanical condition. So I'll start at the front. Not long before I had the car, somebody put a new radiator in it. So that means they did a flush of the coolant system and they put coolant in it. That's good. Since I've had the car, I've done pads, discs, and rebuilt both front calipers. I've put track rod ends on it, 2 lower suspension arms on it, and they are off a Yaris. Yaris arms fit the MR2. Mark 1 Yaris arms, exactly the same. We've put 2 genuine Toyota TTE, which are slightly lower than standard, shock absorbers on the front with matching springs. We've done the drop links. All the front suspension was removed, the hubs were removed, everything was powder coated and put back together. Under the bonnet, we've replaced every single coolant hose. So all the heater pipes have been done, all the main coolant pipes have been done. When you go to the back of the car, again, all the rear suspension was removed. Every single link, arm, everything was removed. Cleaned, back to bare metal, painted, replaced, back on the car, onto a brand new, genuine Toyota cross member. Them things rot on these, and they rot from the inside out, so cross member's been done. It's also had on the back discs, pads, 2 new rear calipers. All 3 handbrake cables have been replaced. All the braces that live underneath the car, that strengthen the chassis, they've all been removed. Cleaned, back to bare metal, painted, reinstalled. We put the new exhaust manifold on it, the stainless steel, to get rid of the precats, with 2 brand new Nippon Denso O2 sensors, because one of them was faulty when I bought it and the precats were breaking up. That's another problem with MR2s that you will not have with this car. So you won't need to worry about a cross member on this car, whoever buys it off me, if and when I put it up for sale. Cross member's brand new. All the suspension's rebuilt, with new tow arms, everything. All the bushes have been replaced on every single suspension component. Everything was polybushed. Every single joint on the suspension has been replaced with these things. Polybushes. There's not a joint on the suspension that hasn't had a brand new bush or spherical bearing or ball joints as required. Today, I've finally got the hood up. The hood has only ever been up once on this car since I owned it, and that was to drive it home because it was raining, and it was up when I got the car. As soon as I got home, I put it down, and I've never ever put it back up. I've done a couple of little repairs on it. There's a little repair here, one there. I've had to put a patch on it there. But this is the original Toyota top, and it's still very, very tight. It's in really good condition for a 22-year-old top. But it's the genuine Toyota one. A bit with one or two repairs, but what can you expect for a genuine hood? So I'm really, really pleased with how she's turned out. Oh, and the other thing I've done is stripped all the paint, all the seam sealer, everything off the chassis. It's all been removed back to bare metal. And it's been etch primed, painted. Where it needed stone chip, it's had stone chip. But only where it needs it, and only where Toyota ever put it in the first place. And today, I've totally cavity waxed everything on this car. There's not a box section on this car now that hasn't got cavity wax in it. Outer sills, chassis leg underneath, all the front cross member, everything is cavity waxed. Insides of the doors, cavity waxed. All the structure behind the rear wings, because there's loads of chassis components behind here, they've all been filled with cavity wax. Everything has been done. All behind the wheel arch liners, cavity wax. So all this behind here is now cavity waxed. This car is now protected for another 20 to 30 years against the dreaded corrosion. All it's wanting now is a good clean, a really, really good T-cut, and a really, really good polish. And it will look absolutely immaculate, because at the moment it's covered in dust and everything, because it's been in the garage for so many months. But this car has been a proper survivor. The black leather interior in it, there's not a tear in the seats anywhere. They are really, really tidy. The carpets aren't worn out. All the door cards are clean. Everything's clean in this car. The door's shut so nicely. The steering wheel's not worn out, which you'd expect with 129,000 miles on it. The gear lever's not worn out. There's no wear on the pedals. It's still got its original MR2 floor mats in it. Everything still works. There's nothing electrical that doesn't work on this car. Everything is perfect. The only thing I have removed off it, which has never worked since I had it, is the air conditioning. There's no gas left in it. There was no oil left in it. Nothing. It was empty. The matrix at the front, in front of the radiator for the aircon, that's got a massive leak in it. It won't hold any vacuum, and it just lets all the pressure out. So the air conditioning has been disconnected. Some people will say, well, you need aircon, but why? It's a soft top. There's the aircon pipes that came off the compressor. I am going to remove the compressor when I find the correct belt to go on the engine, but for now the compressor's still on. What else have we done to it? Oh yeah, we've done a full service on the engine. We've done spark plugs, we've done air filter, we've done oil filter, we've done a new fuel filter, but changed the sock on the fuel pump, so that's brand new. We've changed the brake fluid on it all round, so all four corners have been bled, with me having to rebuild the calipers and putting news on the back. So they're all done. All the brake lines are in good condition. All the flexies are in good condition. They're not very old. I've found receipts for them. They're only a couple of years old, so they're okay. We've put new coolant in it. We've put new transmission fluid in it. Hydraulic fluid for the clutch has been changed. The clutch is still in remarkably good condition, because there is an inspection hatch underneath you can see through, and you can see the clutch, and the clutch has still got loads of meat on it. So at some stage in its life it's had a clutch. It's got 4 good wheel bearings on it. All the ABS sensors work on it. There's nothing that doesn't work on the car. It's a remarkable little car for 22 years old. It's in really, really tidy condition. It's not a museum piece. It's not a show car. It's never going to be. It's got its flaws. It's got little stone chips on it. But it's a car that's it's genuinely a good car. It's been used, but it's not falling to bits. It's structurally sound. There's no rust on it anywhere. It's mechanically sound now. Everything is good on it. Brakes, suspension, body's good. Paintwork's pretty good. It just wants a good polish and a T-cut. There's no chips in the windscreen. There's no cracks in the windscreen. Roof is usable. One day might put a new soft top on it, might go and find a hard top for it, but for now there's nothing wrong with that roof. It never leaked on the way home. I don't think it's going to leak again. Couple of repairs, like I said. There's a few on this side. Little pinhole there. I've had to put a patch on there. There's another patch there. I've had to reseal that seam. It hadn't split. It didn't look like it was going to hold together or keep water out for very long. I've got a little split there that I'm not going to worry about. But I'm happy with where I've got to with the car in the 3 months I've been working on it. Really, really happy. I can start using it again now. Particularly now I've totally covered it in this stuff. Lanagard, that's what I've used on it. That's what I've been using as a cavity wax. That is everywhere. The entire car is coated in it. The whole underneath is coated. All under the engine bay, all under the wheel arch is coated. All the suspension components are coated in it. Everything's done. This is a car that's going to last for a long, long time. It is a proper good car. A little bit cosmetically challenged here and there, but for 22 years of it on the road, what can you expect? It is what it is. It's a genuine 129,000 mile old, 22-year-old car. And it's still here. It pays. It says something about Toyota's build quality in the first place, if it can last that long. And this is where it lives now. It's going to be dry stored for the rest of the time it spends with me. It won't be going out in the rain. If I get caught out in the rain, well, it's protected. But it'll come home and it'll go straight back in here. We'll dry it out. We'll go over it. We'll check it over. Make sure there's no corrosion starting, which there shouldn't be now. It's covered in Lanagard. It's just going to see me through for quite a few years. So I'm happy with it. I'm really, really happy with this car. Let's pop the bonnet. It is properly clean. As you can see, there's all the water pipes. It's a very, very tidy motor. I don't want to touch anything metal at the moment, because this has only just been Lanagarded. That's why everything's not shiny anymore. It's like a wax coating when it goes off and starts going hard. But it's what it is. A really, really tidy, genuine car. Oh yeah, I put a new battery on it because the old one died, but that's a consumable item. All in all, I'm super, super happy with it. Next project, get it outside on a nice day, degrease the bodywork, give it a good wash, dry it off, bring it back in here, get the polishing mop out, teak up the entire car, compound it and polish it. And I might buy a ceramic coating to put on it just to keep it in there a nice condition, but I'm not going to be doing any bodywork because it doesn't need any. There's no rust anywhere on this car. It's in remarkably good condition. The only thing I need to work out now is, including what I paid for it, how much have I spent on it? I need to go through all my receipts. I've still got every single receipt for everything I've bought for it. And if I could buy genuine Toyota, I bought genuine Toyota. But not everything. Cross members genuine. What else is? Oh, the gaskets on the exhaust manifold, they're genuine. All the studs and the nuts on the exhaust, they're genuine. Oil filters, air filter, they're genuine. NGK Iridium spark plugs, they're what came out the factory, but you can buy them anywhere. ADL blueprint discs and pads, genuine Toyota rear calipers. Cross member, as I said, that's genuine. Silicone water hoses, stainless steel clips, they're all brand new. Yep, she is what she is now. A really, really nice, clean example of an MR2. Yep, she's. I'm looking forward to taking this car up to Scotland next year, because I want to do the NC500 dinner in the summer. I really do want to take her on a road trip. Me and a tent. It's got to be done. I think she's going to make a good road trip car. I think she's going to be fun up in Scotland. But for now, I'll take her out on the dry days. Once the salt goes on the roads, no, she's staying in here. Get her MOT'd in March. She's due in April. Get the MOT done, and then I'm just going to enjoy her for the summer. That's what I bought her for, to enjoy. But I think 3 months worth of work, non-stop, has been well worth it. I've got a car I've always wanted. I always wanted an MR2, and I always wanted one in this shape. I always wanted a Mark III. To me, there's something about the Mark III. It's a pretty, pretty car. Take the badges off it, and people honestly think it's a Porsche. They don't know. They think it's a Porsche Boxster, but That's how much people know about cars these days. They just see a shape and think, well, that's what it must be. But if people think it's a Porsche Boxster, that says something for the styling, doesn't it? Toyota got it right. It's a nicely proportioned car. I do like it. Really, really like it. And I've enjoyed working on it because everything's been relatively simple. It's just a giant Meccano kit at the end of the day. It's a parts bin special. There's bits of every Toyota on it you can imagine. Yaris bottom arms, Celica dashboard, bits of everything. If you've driven one Toyota, it doesn't matter which one you jump into, you'll know where everything is. And they're just simple cars. Simple, well put together, reliable, relatively cheap. And admittedly, these things aren't worth a lot of money. They're worth more to the person that's put all the time in fixing it. But what's it worth? To me, I'd want £5 back for this car. Because I know whoever bought this car, if I ever sold it, has got nothing to do to it. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing mechanical that wants doing on this car. There's nothing bodywork that wants doing on this car. There's no rust on this car. There's no welding to be done on this car. It's as good an example as you're going to find. I challenge you to go and find an MR2 in a garage. Have a look underneath it. Anything that's bolted to it, cross members, braces, brackets, I guarantee they'll all be rusty. You won't find a rusty bracket, a rusty brace, nothing on this. Because they've all been removed, cleaned, painted, put back on. It's like a new pin underneath. Even the fuel tank was cleaned, flushed, rubbed back to bare metal and painted. Yeah, I've gone that far into it. I probably spent too much time cleaning and painting. I probably could have done it in 6 weeks, but that's not the way I work. I want my cars as good as I can possibly get them. I want them as mechanically perfect as I can possibly get them. I want them as safe as I can possibly get them. Because I want to enjoy them. Anyhow, thank you for listening to 20 odd minutes of me waffling on about my MR2. Telling you all about her, telling you what I've done, and letting you know she's finished. Except for cleaning her, polishing her. And that's it really, that's all she's got left to do. That's all I've got left to do to her. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Please consider liking, please consider subscribing to the channel. And I'll do a compilation video of everything I've done to the car. It'll only be a 10-15 minute video of all the highlights as I've been going through rebuilding it. And you'll get some idea of what I've done, but hey, there you go. One finished project for now, until I find something else I want to do to it. Like a turbo. There's a hint. One ZZ with a turbo and an intercooler. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.